Right. Excuse me. Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, wherever you are around the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the first stream, proper stream really, of Train Sim World 2 in just over 13 months. So, awesome. Today, I thought I'd start the streaming return with a bang by taking a look at, well, the newest route that's been added to Train Sim World and the first route of the year. And that is the Tharandter Rampe in Germany, going from Dresden to Chemnitz. If I say that incorrectly, then I apologise. Of course, I'm going to be taking a look at some services and giving the new toy of the pack, so to speak, a little play, and that is the DBBR 612 diesel hydraulic multiple unit. You can have a single unit, which is a set of, I think it's just a single 2-car set, and then a double unit is 2 sets of 4 connected together. Now, while it says 200 services, the calculations I'm coming up with in terms of total figures of services is not 200, it's like 210, because this bad boy, the Talent 2, subs in for not only the cab car or Stahlwagen, but also the 143, which is interesting. But yeah, let's have a go at this. I think I'll do maybe a single unit. Yeah, I think a single unit, because it's just over an hour. So let's go from Dresden to Chemnitz. We'll have a mid-morning. No, this kind of, that time will do. Dresden Hauptbahnhof to Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof. Obviously going to Chemnitz. So let's do it. It says IRE as the service classification. I presume that means Inter-Regional Express? I don't know. But anyway, let's get cracking. Let me take a look at the chat, because I haven't done a stream obviously in a very long time, so I'm a little bit rabbit in the headlights kind of moment. What have we got? The South Main Rail Fan, hello, and the Long Island Railroad Rail Fanning, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, welcome. Right, we have today this Inter-Regional Express 1 service from Dresden to Chemnitz. Hang on a minute, let me just check if... Can everyone hear me, for starters? Let me just check if... Yeah, I think I've just turned the volume briefly. Yeah, my mic is on. It's having a few teething problems, this mic. It's brilliant. So sometimes the connection from the wires is a bit funny. But yeah, I think it works. Ooh, the sights and sounds and the noises of a new train. It's exciting. Right, what have I got to do? I'm so new to this. I've literally done the tutorial and nothing else. Let me have a look. What am I doing? Turn the power on. GST, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to touch it. I know there's a switch of that in the cupboard. Is it in the cupboard? It's like a little cupboard thing in one of the carriages. Oh yeah, reverser. Ooh, that's a nice sound. Right, turn the gauge lights on. It sounds like I'm on like a starship, from Star Wars or Star Trek. It's incredible. It's so different. It certainly sounds unique. Anyway, what have I got to do? We've got a minute to kill, so going to go and inspect. That's the destination. Nürnberg. I think it's automatic, the destination displays. I haven't actually checked. Let's open this little door. Yeah, Cephas here. I think GNT is available. So I'll put it on and see what it does, but I remember when I was in the cab and switched the G and T switch in the cab first, and it started rocking from side to side like I was on the boat at sea, and it scared the crap out of me. Excuse me language, but it really did. I was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, what is this? It really did scare me. I was like, flip. It scared the bejesus out of me. Right. It's time to depart, so let's lock the doors. There we are, doors are locked. Release the brakes. Is that all the brakes released? Oh yeah, of course. Right, I think we can go. I don't. Oh no, hang on. I know there's a switch I've forgotten to switch. Headlights, I always put them onto bright because why not? Signal lights, unused headlights. PZB, where's the oh no, it's not, it doesn't need a pantograph, does it? It's a diesel. I keep forgetting. There's something not on, because to me something don't. The brakes are still active. Train lights. There's a parking brake here somewhere. I've just got to find it. No parking brake. Oh, the brake key, that's it. There we go. I thought it was a parking brake, but here's the brake key. Yeah, look at that. Brakes are being released. Now we can commence. We're going to be late, but who cares? That horn doesn't sound very healthy. Come on. What's going on here? Oh, it's probably that GMT thing, isn't it? It's probably what's playing up. Well, the brakes are off completely. I know that. There must be a parking brake on somewhere. BZB. Any little switches and diddly doodahs under here that I need to press? I know I'm going to be late, but it's literally just a first look, proper first look. What's this thing doing here? The brake key switch is on. Excellent. I might have done something. Brakes are charging, so maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm going to let the brakes charge. Let it have its moment of magic. That's the uncoupling key. Yeah, desk light works, so that's a good start. You can tell, yeah, the brakes are definitely making a noise, so it's obviously taking a bit of time to be released. So yeah, we'll just have to. I'm going to play safe and just wait until the brakes are fully operational. It should be ready now. No, it don't want to move, does it? Something is not right. What is the matter? Is it me switching buttons which I shouldn't have been? Is it this G and T, or it's probably that? Yeah, let's turn that off. Get out of the way. There we are. Sorry, passengers. We apologise for the delay. It don't want to move, does it? No. I think this the brakes. They need a lot of charging by the looks of it. I'm going to start again. Last thing I'm going to do is hear me bang on about brakes for 20 minutes. South Main Rail fan. I'm on the West Somerset Railway with a Class 33. That's what I like to hear. Well, nice. Close the doors. Oh yeah, sugar. I'm such a twat, honestly. I did. I swear. No, I did close the doors. Yeah, because otherwise the top left indicator would have told me to lock the doors, and the doors were locked because the first destination was being displayed. Right, well, I'm going to do it properly this time. Battery key. Switch on the brake key this time. That would give it plenty of time. Insert the reverser. That's good. It's making the right noises so far. I'm not going to touch Sifa. I haven't even done a full run of this route, so maybe it's best I don't play with Sifa. Right, that's the power. There. What have we got? We got a single cab. No, we got two, haven't we? Oh yes. I think I might know why. The power in the other cab might not be working. Well, the lights are active. Let's just hop on board. There's a battery switch or something that needs to be turned on, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just have a look. Yeah, the power mode is active, so that means it must be. Let's just check. All aboard. Where is it? Oh, nope. It must be over here. Excuse me. Where's your children? This is the child compartment. You can't steal their seats. It's not very nice. No, all the power is on. How strange. Unless it's some sort of glitch where the doors in the first set close but the other set doesn't, and other than that I don't know. I should have looked at the manual before before doing the stream. Oh well. Let's get back in the cab. I hope the stream quality is okay, because yeah, it's the first time I'm doing a stream with some improved internet connectivity, so I'm hoping the quality is much better than it was in the past. Right, the doors are closed. The brake key has spent long enough charging, so there shouldn't be a problem. What is this? What are these little things? Like two antennas sticking out like an alien. Signal lights, headlights. Thank you. I haven't explored the computers either. Yes, it's big. Yes, we're back. We're in business. Fantastic. Must have been the Sifa maybe, or that D and T thing or whatever. I probably should have pressed that after I departed. But we're moving. That's great. At last. The first stop is Freiburg. Now, if you are from Germany, I do apologise if I get the pronunciations wrong of the Deutschland stations. As you can tell, I'm not German, so. In the car, there's a lock all doors button. Yeah, that's right. We're departing Dresden, but we're going in a different direction. Because when we turn left, yeah, because on the Dresden, or the Werke Dresden, you originally went right, now you go left. So would that be south, west, maybe? I'm not sure. Big power plant there in the background, billowing out tons of smoke. It's great visual effects there of the smoke. Look at it all bellowing out like that. Look at that. Now I have got all the layers. Well, there's hardly any layers at all, but Obviously, as I displayed in the beginning of the stream, the Talent 2 is usable, as is the little green shunter. What's it called? The G6. So whether we'll see those two on our travels today, tonight, this morning, who knows. But it's nice again to have some variety. I haven't checked the Verka Dresden, to be fair, to see if this little geezer we're driving here is subbed onto that route. I imagine so, but maybe as AI. So I would be surprised if that's on there as AI only. Mainspazet Barn, I think that has a good chance of this being... Oh, there's the green shunter. I've just seen it. It just went past. On the right hand side. Yeah, as I was saying, I think Mainspazet Barn would be a good place for this diesel electric multiple unit, because I think it's in Aschaffenburg where there's that section of track which can only be used by diesels, because the catenary doesn't go down to the dockyard, and I think as you go to the dockyard, the track itself is lined with a couple of platforms, so that could be used. I mean, it'll probably be one of the shortest passenger journeys in Train Sim World history, but well, if it is on there, I'll be pleased. If not, then it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. So Freiburg is 29... Crikey, that is a long one, isn't it? 29 kilometers away. Well, this must be some sort of express kind of service where it only stops at certain stations on the line. But first impressions of the diesel, the 612, certainly the driving characteristics is very unique. Obviously, it's the first diesel passenger train we've had on the German route, or route if you're from the States. So yeah, it certainly feels different, and the sounds, I think, are not too bad. I think the only downside is the horn. I mean, it sounds unique, but it sounds like they haven't... I think they need to tweak the sound a little bit more, try and edit the sound, make it feel like it's not bellowing out as much. Like when you sat in the interior of the cab, you know, I don't think you're expected to hear the actual sound of what it would be like outside. I think that's my only quarrel. But the route itself, it looks as good as any other Train Sim World route, really. It has some unique architecture, like that castle or house thing on the left there, and some good trees, and a sense of density with the forest. Yeah, there was, I imagine if some people who maybe are familiar with this area or live in the area, I'm sure they'll get a magnifying glass and analyze every single speck of this route, and make sure that you know, every little tweak, every little detail is precise, be that the road network, the town, the structure, the architecture in a certain area or something like that is not up to scratch. I don't know, but it certainly looks good for sure, and it runs pretty smoothly too. I mean, I don't know what the frame rate is. I think it's, for me, I'm looking at 60 frames per second, but I put the stream at the lowest setting and the lowest frame rate, or is it 720 30 frames per second, just as a precaution, because I wasn't sure how the stream was going to be. Like, is it going to be bad? Was it going to be horrendous? So I took a gamble and played it safe. So yeah, if the stream quality is good, even beyond my expectations, then of course I'll bump the quality up for next stream. Right, let's have a look at the chat while we're chugging along. The Irish Rail Spotter, hey, how are you? Carly Glover 5000 the first, that's her name. I'm excited for Dovetail to announce the Steam route on the 23rd. 23rd of January or 22nd. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's obvious to me what the contenders are. It's a route set back in time, which is very appropriate, of course. So there won't be any preserved railway nonsense. I think the what's that route called? The Riviera line in the 50s in the southwest of England. That has a very strong chance. I will not be at all surprised if that is the chosen candidate to be representing Steam on Train Sim World. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you watch the Dovetail stream on a Wednesday, where they showcase train simulator content, a lot of that content is Steam based, and you analyze the routes that they play on. Most of those routes are set in the southwest. I think they've got a West Cornwall kind of steam route. They've got one, obviously, Riviera line in the 50s that goes from Exeter to somewhere. What else? And obviously, I think the person who does the stream, I forget his name. He loves steam trains. It's pretty obvious. He's I think he's kind of like a fan of the southwest. Whether he comes from the southwest, I don't know. But to me, that sounds like it's a good candidate. Another candidate would definitely be the western lines of Scotland. I would love that one. Personally, that's the choice I would like, because it's got my favourite steam locomotive, the Black 5. Now, whether that happens or not is anyone's guess, but to me, I think those two routes in particular are very, and I'm going to say that again, very strong candidates. Yeah, I will be very surprised if neither of them are contenders for representing Steam and Train Sim World. But hey, we'll wait and see. Personally, for me, if we go back a year ago, I honestly thought they would take like a safe option and bring like a slow introduction to Steam. Like, I would have been perfectly happy if we had a Steam locomotive add-on for the West Somerset Railway. It would be perfect, It gives players the chance to, obviously experience West Somerset in a brand new way. People that maybe have played West Somerset a lot, or maybe have picked the route up on the discount, to have greater knowledge of, how the route works, obviously with the diesels, with the different undulations and so on and so forth. That's obviously a key thing to know about when driving on West Somerset, and of course they can bring that knowledge and experience to the steam train. But of course, yeah, steam train's a bit different to a class 33 or a class 47 or a class whatever. We're chugging along quite nicely. 19 kilometers to go. I don't know how long the route length is. I think it's like between 40 and 50 miles. I'm not too sure. Excuse me. But yeah, the Dresden, what's it called? Tharandter Rampe. That's the route I'm on about now. Yeah, this route length is, yeah, it feels quite long. Let's have a look. Jay, the real fan. Hey Spurs, sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Of course, for those of you who are new, and of course, if you missed the start of it, or there's a particular part of the stream that you want to see, of course, don't worry about that. You will be able to watch the stream in full, in its entirety, because when the stream is finished, it will be re-uploaded to the channel. I can't promise when that will happen, because of course that's in the luck of the YouTube gods, how long it takes to process it, go through it, so, my language isn't too horrendous. Because you know what it's like these days on the internet. Got to monitor every single thing you say, in case You say something out of line and then bang, you're no longer doing YouTube. So yeah, but yeah, rest assured you'll be able to watch the stream back in its entirety. I think like the first 10-15 minutes was me just figuring out how to get this bucket of bolts moving. And the gradients are quite steep too, actually. We look 2.6. It's pretty steep. I've picked a nice time of day. Look at that. The sun is in the sky. It's a clear day. It's lovely. It's been a nice day here, actually, in real life. Weather's been fantastic. It's been a brilliant start to the new year weather-wise. I think the past week it's just been sun and clear skies. Very cold at night, but clear sky. That's your weather report from Spurs Rail 96. Todd Gaming, what do you mean nonsense? I apologize. Well, I wouldn't say it's nonsense, you know. It's not nonsense, far from it, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever it was called. If I called it nonsense, then I apologise. I mean, I'm not a big fan of heritage railways in games. I prefer going to a heritage railway in real life. It's more fun. I don't know what the closest one is to me, actually. I'm just thinking, I mean, the last time I went on a heritage railway, I was like 10, 11, 12. It's been so long. The last time I went on a train was 2021. Is it 2021? Might have been. No. It's either last year or the year before. It was the summer. I remember that, but I can't remember which summer. It was 2020 or 2021. I think it was. Yeah, it has to be 2020. Yeah. $17 to go, and so far we're ahead of schedule, which is rare. Tog Gaming, I think when they make a steam routes, they need to make a variation of historic based routes and preserve railways. Historic routes, certainly I'll agree 100%. I mean, I'm a huge fan of historic routes in the game, be that Clinchfield, Tees Valley. Transpennine is obviously in the top 3 routes or routes of the franchise. Heritage Railways kind of in the middle. I suppose it depends which one. West Somerset is like a double-edged sword for me. Yes, I like it because it's the longest heritage railway in the country and has those, you know, like I said earlier, you know, very demanding grades, and it's quite a challenging driving experience. But the negative is it's mostly, if not all, is 25 miles per hour. So it's super slow and it takes forever to do a complete run of the route, let alone do 2. You're easily looking at 2 or 4 hours. But then again, some will argue, well, doesn't that apply to like Cane Creek or the Glitchfield, for example? So yeah, it's a hit and miss kind of situation, but I would definitely 100% prefer historical routes than heritage railways. To me, with a historical route like Transpennine or something, it just means so much more. You know, it's not just the driving experience, but the actual, you know, the scenery, everything around it. You know, we're looking at a period in time that is probably as close as we're going to get, really, to experiencing ourselves. You know, and you know, as much as you know, could look into the history of it, be it online or go into museums or watch historical footage or photography, playing it is just so much more immersive. It's like what was it I purchased the other day? I purchased Assassin's Creed, one of the new games. I got it on a bumper deal. I think it was Origins or Odyssey, and to me like studying like I think it was a discovery tour where you go around the map and you're literally a part of the ancient world of Egypt, and you learn so much more, when you play in the historical settings rather than learning at it either on a computer or video photography, like being at school or education. I just find that historical things in gaming, I think, are so much more immersive, and to me it's just fascinating. So I welcome more historical roots in Train Sim World. Of course, people will want more modern stuff than historical roots. I mean, I remember when we had Tees Valley that came out in 2019, and people were demanding, okay, we've had enough of the historical stuff, let's have some modern English, British stuff. And of course, to some degree, Dovetail have responded. They have pumped out some pretty decent British routes, modern British routes. What is it? The London Underground, Bakerloo Line, Southeastern High Speed, of course, is very popular. What else? I'm just trying to think. Of course, the London Commuter, when it works. So yeah, I think it's a good mix of modern routes and historical routes. Personally, I prefer, like I said, the historical stuff, but the modern stuff is certainly interesting, especially for trains. The modern trains, like how they use the safety systems and the technologies. I'm very fascinated by that. Right, that's enough of me moaning and groaning and talking constantly. I need to focus on what I'm doing. 11 kilometers to go. 140 kilometer per hour speed limit coming up. I hope you can hear me in the game fine. And the reason why I'm asking that is because my microphone, I cannot hear the game as well when I have the microphone hooked up, because all I can hear is my voice and not the game as much in the headphones. I could tweak that a bit more, but there's really not much I could do. I've got my headphones at maximum volume, and my microphone is roughly halfway, so I could, but as much as I try and fiddle around with it and change it, it doesn't make much difference, and I don't really want to muck it up on the stream in case it goes bang and the stream crashes and everyone's all upset. And of course that'll be me whining and whinging to myself to sleep, thinking, why did I do this? Nathan Sanderson, hey, how are you? Talk Gaming, the North York Moors Railways would be good, but I understand it could be slightly boring. Historical routes would be more interesting, I agree, yeah. Yeah, North York Moors Railways, that's a good one. I could just imagine like the scenic vistas of the North Yorkshire Moors. Depending on the weather conditions you set and the time of day, I think it will look absolutely stunning. If you play Train Sim World, of course, in 4K resolution, be it on the monitor or 4K television, it's hard to argue how good this game can look. Yes, some trains do look a little bit too clean, but I think over time Dovetail and Rivet and Skyhook to a degree are bringing more weathered variations of those trains. I think what am I doing here? Turn the throttle off. One particular example was Cane Creek. When that came along, it had a weathered variant of, I think it was the AC 4400 CW, and I think that was the first ever weathered variant or livery we had for Train Sim World. So I welcome that, because it makes the locomotive feel more, I suppose, looks more natural to its environment. But then again, I suppose the licensor or manufacturer, be that Deutsche Bahn or Siemens, who make this train, I think Siemens make this locomotive, I'm not too sure, they probably want to say, hey, we want our brand to stand out, make it shiny and clean, please. And I can understand that from a marketing point of view. You always go for the shiny, good looking train because you think, yeah, that's going to be a nice ride. 6 kilometers to go till Freiburg. Wow, it's flown by. It's cruising along really nicely. I'm really impressed with this diesel electric multiple unit, I should say. It just cruises like a dream. It's like a carpet ride. It's wonderful. It holds its speed so well, and it doesn't accelerate too fast when going on downhill gradients with the power off, or vice versa when you're going up a steep gradient and the speed comes down. It just cruises so nicely. It's legit like a cruising machine. Like it's something you see like on Fast and Furious or something. You just get a car and tune it right up, make it look fantastic, and then just cruise along. It's brilliant. It's a nice vibe, this locomotive. I don't know why, but it just feels it to me. It feels wonderful. Let's have a look at the route. My Life, Alice is 101. Hey, how are you? Hope you're well. I'm concerned if you won't do any scenarios on Train Sim World for content again. You deleted some on your playlist. No offense, but was it necessary? I think to do scenarios again. I think it was necessary. I've personally always preferred timetables and services. To me, it's just more fascinating, especially when it comes to substitution and additional services being added to this route because of that route or this loco add-on, etc., etc. To me, that's just more fascinating. Look at those towers on the right. Look at that. That's tremendous. But yeah, scenarios never was my thing. I thought, I've got to do something because I want to showcase these services on the next gen console and timetables. Hence why I'm doing this, series of timetable services called At Your Service, and we're near 100 episodes, which is brilliant. So the scenarios was really just something that I was supposed to pass the time, like just wait until I could get my hands on the PS5. Plus, enables me to keep the views up and get more recognition. But yeah, I won't be doing scenarios again. The reason why I deleted them from the playlist is simply because the YouTube app is being a pain in the neck for me. I've got too many playlists, and sometimes the playlists will go missing, and then I panic and I think, oh, where's it gone? And then when I open a playlist, there'll be some videos that have disappeared, and then you try to refresh it, and then they appear, and then the next day you try and add something else to that playlist, and then a certain video you made a couple of days ago has disappeared. So yeah, it's a YouTube thing, the problem with scenarios. That's why I removed them from the playlists. I may make a separate playlist just for the scenarios itself, so that all will be contained in one playlist for you to access. But as far as the specific route or route playlists, I will not be adding them to for scenario videos I made in the past to those playlists. I know I make things so confusing. I apologise. It's hard to drive and talk at the same time. I have, like I said to in the beginning or near the beginning, I haven't streamed properly for over 13 months, so I'm a bit rusty. A face reveal? No. There won't be a face reveal. To me, I don't understand the logic of a face reveal. Like, why? Well, what's the point? When you're doing a game stream, people want to see the game. They don't care what my face reaction is going to be like, do they? That's the whole point. That's how I feel personally. Like, when you watch a game stream, you want to watch the game. It's as simple as that. And even if I wanted to, and even if I was given the option, like if I had the camera to do a face reveal, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying like I'm scared to reveal my face, or because I'm not confident, or body imaging or whatever it's called these days on social media, but yeah, just not interested. I'm not going to buy a camera that I don't want to take advantage of. So it's as simple as that. My god, we need to brake. Now we're going to test what the brakes are like, because we're coming into Freiburg, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, get off the brakes. Ooh, the brakes are good. Very good. They're so good, in fact, I've missed it. The edge of the platform. Oh well. Need to get on the brakes, you silly devil. Thank you. And we've arrived just on time, which is brilliant. Excellent, I'm glad. Why do you say route and not route? The reason why I say, well, route is because that's how, well, British people say route, and I think in America, in some parts of the States, they say route. Yeah, it's pretty clear. If I'm on a USA route, I will say route, because it will make I think it will make my American viewers more comfortable with me saying route, because you know what people are like these days. Anyone will complain about anything. So, I mean, I remember I watched a video and someone literally put in the comments below, oh, why did you say this in that way when it should have been this way? So, you know, you can't please everyone, so that's why I say route when I'm on in American routes or routes, and when I'm on British or German or, you know, rest of the world route, then of course I'll say route, because it's not American. Alright, let's go. We're departing now. There's a tea. I've got a cup of tea sitting not too far from me, but I have to get up. My phone's going off and I can see it lighting up all the time, and I'm like, I need to reach it. I should have put my tea closer. Ooh, hello. I've just got a notification from BBC Sport. What's that? Australia's Neil Robertson. Oh, he's won the snooker masters over Barry Hawkins. 10-4. Wow. It's a dominating win, that. Oh, blimey, look at that. Right, what's the next stop? I have no idea what it's called. Floha? I have no idea. Either way, it's 19 kilometers. That's the map. Very twisty and turny. Yeah, it looks good. It's the first time I actually looked at the route map. Get up to a decent speed and I'll come off the power so I can go and pick up my cup of tea, or cold cup of tea now. Right. I need to get up. Ew. Good lord. Oh, it's kind of warm. I need to put the thumbnail on the stream, but I forgot. I'll have to do that when the stream's over. Nope. Just trying to move my mic so I can hold my cup of tea and not spill it on the mic. That will be a disaster, won't it? 'Cause then that's a £130 mic gone down the drain. And trust me, I can't afford a new one at the moment. I actually brought recently a new SSD hard drive for the PlayStation. God, was it a nightmare to get in. It took me 3 or 4 attempts just to get it in, and every time I put it in, it wouldn't register it, and I took it out again and then put it in again and tried it, and it still wouldn't do it. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to take it to a friend of mine who does IT services, and I thought, this ain't good. Yeah, I've spent I think it was £150 on it's like a heat sink SSD 1TB drive. I just went for the heatsink one as a safer option, because I think it protects the SSD drive from, I don't know, catching fire or something, but or overheating or getting a bit hot. So I brought that, and I was just thinking, oh my god, if I brought the wrong one, I've wasted all this money on this and it's not working. And then today I thought I'll give it one more try, and it did it. I was so relieved. I'm so happy. So yeah, it works. SSD works fine. I was able to transfer all of my PS4 games over, and yeah, works like a dream. Extra terabyte of storage. Very pleased. Oh, so nice to have a cup of tea. I need to control my driving as well. I'm doing, 3 things at once: drinking tea, talking to you, and driving. Train driver in real life, this is easy. I'm joking, of course. It's anything but easy. How old are you? Just curious. Are you going to purchase the Harlem Line Grand Central to 5 plates? How old am I? I've just turned 25. I turned 25 in, just over a month ago. So I'm pretty streetwise now. Streetwise-ish. Still relatively young, of course. Hey, look at that bridge. We're on a high bridge now. Look at that. That's a tall old bridge we're on. Ooh, I don't know your name, my friend, but it's Russian, that's for sure. Or a country that has a Russian language integrated. Yes, good like. Thank you. Glad you like it. It's good fun. Trying to learn different languages because I'm planning to go abroad, hopefully a bit more than I did last year, which was none last year. And the year before. So but I'm going on a holiday to France as it stands, fully vaccinated, updated my passport, so fingers crossed my holiday goes ahead. And it's not too far around the corner either. It's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months away, so yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to going away for a much needed break. It's quite quiet, this the interior. It's very subtle, especially for a diesel as well. I thought it'd be rumbling around and making a lot of noise, but it's anything but. Now I think, of course, one signature characteristic of this locomotive is, of course, that it tilts. I think if you turn on the what's it called? Oh God, what's it called? The cab sway. I think you'll obviously see the tiltingness in full effect. But I turned the cab sway off, and the reason why is not because I'm against the authenticity or anything. It's because it makes me feel ill. I get my head gets all funny with it, and it bears thinking of, really. I know it's strange, but when I first tried cab sway on the game, I felt terrible. I felt, I felt like I was going to be sick. It was terrible. It was like being on a boat. It was that bad. Now, of course, you can adjust the cab sway to some degree, but didn't like it. I always preferred to just have it off. Plus, it's good for the stream as well, because the graphics and the game is not swerving around from side to side, particularly in the cab, of course. 11 people watching. How absurd is this? How is this possible? My life. Wait, 25? No offense, you sound older than that, my friend. Yeah, I'm 25. It is weird because people claim that my friends say I look younger than 25, and then people say I sound older than 25. The reason why I probably sound older than 25 is because I'm a voice actor. So yeah, and I have a very low voice. So that's probably why I sound older, because of me doing voice acting. I used to do acting a lot, hell of a lot, and particularly before the pandemic. But since the pandemic, I've hardly done anything acting wise or theatre wise, because obviously they've been closed. Excuse me. So it's good to do the YouTube because it enables me to showcase my vocal skills to some degree. Let's just get on the brakes a little bit. There hasn't been much AI traffic as I expected, particularly on this latter stage. Since we departed Freiburg, I haven't seen much as I expected. I thought there'd be a little bit more traffic going along. I know this particular German route is not the busiest we've got in the game, but I thought it'd be a little bit more busier, especially coming up to the lunchtime period. But it is what it is, isn't it? I suppose it's a blessing in disguise, because it's the first stream I've done in 13 months, and look at it, the game's running smoothly. So yeah, it's good. It's called My Life Alsag 101. What was the other question you had? Are you going to purchase the Harlem line for TSW2? Whoa, need to go on the brakes. Need to get my controller. I'm busy looking at my phone. Hang on, I'll answer the question in a minute. Let's just get this train under control. Stay on the brakes. Again, the gradients are much steeper than I expected. 2.5%, I think, going uphill at one point. Now it's 1.9% going down. This is a steep old route, going up and down. What was the question? Are you going to purchase the Harlem line for TSW2? If it's good, I'll purchase it. I've now made a rule to myself, mainly I've made a rule now that if a route doesn't look good enough, or if it doesn't, sound good enough, or if the details of it doesn't sound satisfying, then I won't buy it. And what I used to do with Train Sim World Routes was I never ever watched the preview streams, just so I can keep it as an element of surprise for myself. But now I've decided to watch the preview streams so I could get a feel for what their latest product is, either that's Dovetail, Rivet or Skyhook. And if it ain't good enough, then I ain't gonna buy it, because I don't want to waste my money, to put it bluntly. So I'll purchase it if Dovetail have done a good job. If they've done an awful job, no, I'm not going to buy it just for the sake of buying it. That's what I used to do. Just buy new stuff and, you know, play the hell out of it, regardless what broken or fixed state it was in. Yeah, if Dovetail does a good job of it, then they can take my money. If they do a crap job, excuse me language, then I won't buy it. I'll probably get it on a discount if they've done a bad job at first, and I'll wait for it until it's fixed, improved, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think the Harlem line is 25 miles, so not the longest, but just because it's not the longest route on paper doesn't mean to say it could be the best. Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr proves that point very well. I think it's only 24 miles Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr, and it's one of the best routes in the series, personally speaking. It's just so much things to do. It's just so busy for a route that small. Like, to cram 404 services on a 24-mile route is, to me, that's hugely impressive, and we're going very, very slow. Need to pick up the pace a bit here. I've just noticed what the speed limit is and what we're doing. Come on, Diesel. Go, go, go. That'll do. Speed limit's 90 anyway. Saro Trains, hey, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hello, sorry I'm late. That's alright, don't worry about it. I think I was late starting the stream anyway, because I didn't know what to do. I haven't properly streamed, like I said, in over 13 months. I know I sound like a person on a broken record, but again, I'm very rusty to this, so of course the quality doesn't look great at the moment, but if the stream is reliable, then I'll probably bump the quality up a little bit, maybe make it 60 frames per second, or maybe make it 1080p and 30 frames per second, of course, depending on the router or route, of course. We've driven 61 kilometers, that's nice. Right, we are approaching Floha, or however you say it. I haven't got a clue. Let's get on the brakes. Once again, another steep gradient, over 1%. So it should help us bring the speed down nicely. May come off the power if we're going a bit too slow and we're too far still from the station. I think we are. Gradient's getting less steeper as we descend, so we'll come off the power. Once I see the station platform, I'll start to apply the brakes. This is Floha, ladies and gentlemen. Is this where the yard is located? All that narrow gauge stuff? I've no idea. Right, in we come. Slow and steady. There we go, that'll do. Perfect. Happy with that. That was a good one. Perfect stop. Right. What was the other chilly chats going on? South Main Rail fan, after the update for the Arosa line, how many services are there? Ooh, that's a great question. Ooh. Well, it's not as busy as before, that's for sure. Sorry, it's not as busy as you probably would expect. I think the RHP anniversary pack adds, I think, 14 new services. I think. Yeah, it would have to, because there's 2 Christmas services, I think the freight services are part of the pack or maybe part of the free update, but I think this is a complete guess, but I reckon between I don't know, I wouldn't say 64. Would that be appropriate? Is that enough? Is that not enough? I don't know. It's more than 50. I'll say that. I don't know the definitive number. I must be honest. I have the Rosaline installed. I'll have a check at the end. Actually, that won't take a tick. I think it's close between 80 or 90, like 84, 94, something like that. I think. I'm completely guessing. If that is right, then wow, that's one of the best guesses I've ever made. Right, the next and final stop is Chemnitz. And 9 kilometers to go. Right, let's pick up the pace then. Looking at the clock, we ain't got much time to spare, so we need to get moving. It's quite slow in the power increasing. It does take a while. You really have to hold it down for a little bit. Compared to with the German electric locomotives, you just whack the throttle down and it goes to 100 in a blink of an eye. 100% that is. Now I'll do all my usual promotional talk as always on my channel. Of course, if you'd enjoyed this stream, make sure to give it a like. I said earlier as well, in case you weren't around for that, this stream will be processed and re-uploaded to the channel so you can watch it back in full. Whether the live chat will be implemented, I'm not too sure. I imagine it would be, but yeah, if you enjoyed it and you want to hear any answer to any of the questions that I managed to answer in the stream, and of course yeah, stick around. In terms of next streams, there will be one same time tomorrow. Yes, that's right, there will be another stream tomorrow, Monday night, 8:30 p.m. UK time. Of course, check out the community section of my YouTube channel. That is where I publish all the information as far as, you know, when I'm streaming, the timing of the stream in your, of course, appropriate time zone, and yeah, what I'll be streaming on. And it won't just be Train Sim World either. I'm hoping to stream on some other games as well. Maybe I definitely want to stream Gran Turismo 7. I managed to somehow pre-order the 25th anniversary edition. How, I don't know, because it's sold out on Amazon. So I managed to sneak in a copy on Amazon way back in September. I was completely surprised by that. But yeah, definitely Gran Turismo 7. I am very excited to get that, and maybe I'll stream on it. Can't promise that I'm going to, but it's certainly something I will investigate in terms of other games. I'll stream. I'm not too sure. I haven't got many other simulation type games other than the main car ones I've got, like Project Cars 2. I've got F1 2021 and had a good fun on that, so maybe that. GT Sport, yeah, I've had GT Sport for years and still serves me well. Snow Runner I got recently because it was for free on PlayStation Plus. I'll give it a try. Not sure how that will go, but it looks interesting. So if I enjoy it, then I may stream it, and if I don't enjoy it, then I won't keep it. Yeah. But the key question you probably want to have answered is, what's the thing I'm going to stream tomorrow? Well, it's Train Sim World 2, and it will be, of course, keeping in with the German theme. And the route in question that I'll be streaming on is Rapid Transit. So if you like Rapid Transit, then yeah, you're in the right place, because that is what I will be streaming tomorrow. And I like Rapid Transit. It's a nice, quaint German route. It's so different from the other ones. Like, it's just a pure passenger one, no freight stuff in that route at all, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, I've got the BR182 installed as well. So yeah, Rapid Transit, looking forward to that. I do like Rapid Transit. I haven't played on it in a very long time. But yeah, it's certainly one of my favourite German routes. Because it's just so different from the others. Like, all the others have either a lot of freight and not enough passenger, or a ton of passenger and a little bit of freight. But I don't know, Rapid Transit's different because it doesn't have any freight, it's just pure passenger. So if you like passenger gameplay or content in Train Sim World, then well, make sure to come along for the stream tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. UK time, or GMT. Should be good fun. Which locomotive I'll use, or multiple unit I'll use, I don't know. There's a good selection. There's a 143, there's the cab car, or Stahlwagen, or 767.2, and of course there's the Silver Talent 2. So yeah, there's a few options I can go for there. Let's have a look at the chat because it's flown by. Sarah Trains, oh wow, you used to act. I did, yeah, I used to act since the age of 7. I used to do performing arts and went to a dance school, an acting school, and was part of the Natter in 2013, albeit a very long time ago. I remember performing on the London Palladium. Where was it? I used to do Oliver Twist way back in like 2008, 2009, Christmas period. Nothing special. It was just a like a supporting role or part of the ensemble chorus. But that was a great experience doing it in the West End. It was just magical, you know. Taking part in one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's productions is that's some achievement, and especially at my age when I was like 10, 11, 12. Huge achievement. And not just that, I've danced abroad as well. I've danced in Paris, in France, well, Disneyland to be more precise. But it was a nice experience dancing abroad way back, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And we're approaching Chemnitz, and I need to get on the brakes. It was a great experience. Of course, I haven't danced much or acted much since then, but it was some magical experiences as well, and met some great people as well, but I still keep in contact with. South Main Rail fan, I mean, without the RHB anniversary pack, because they said you didn't need the pack for the new services, not for 10 new services. Oh, I don't know then. Might we need to get on the brakes, because we are approaching Chemnitz. Gonna play it safe. Put on the brakes hard. There we go. That'll be okay. Awesome. Journey's End. I'm pleased with that. That was a good run. I'm really pleased. I thought I was going to make a mess or something, but no, it was okay. Whoop, we finished all right. There we go. Oh, it just took me under an hour. And we pretty much stayed on time, which was a nice surprise. Oh, I got an achievement as well. And a silver medal. I'll take that any day. It's better than a bronze, that's for sure. I'm not sure. I'll have a look in a second. South Main Rail fan, I'll take a look. I think I have the RHB pack installed, but if it's without the RHB pack, then well, I can only tell you the number with the RHB pack because I've got it installed. There used to be 84. Then I'm not sure. Then Matt Jennings, hey, how are you? Which locomotive would you drive in real life? Ooh, that is a great question. Probably, if it was from the UK, I'd definitely drive the 45. I love that locomotive, the BR Class 45 diesel electric locomotive. For Germany, I'm not sure really. I think definitely the 101. That's a good one. I like the DBPR 101 locomotive. That's quite fun. Anyway, let me get to the Arosa line. Not 178, because that's not right. Ah, yes, the original one has 84. And it's got some runaround manoeuvres and northbound services. I don't know if it's got freight, but that's that service pattern. And the RHB anniversary collection with the many liveries. That has a few, like we've got some timber freight services here, and there's a Christmas service somewhere in here. Let me just find it. I've seen it somewhere. I should have a medal icon because I did it for my series. It's disappeared. Where's that gone then? Christmas, yeah. Chur to Arosa. That's a festive themed passenger service. Well, I'm not going to drive a Christmas service in January. I think it's a bad luck, if I'm not mistaken, if you do something that's Christmas related in the first few days of the new year. So let's go back into the Tharandter Rampe. Let's have a look. Let's get back in the look, there's the little green shunter. Love that shunter. Let's get back into the 612 or the 612. Let's do a double unit service. Did I do a double unit service? I did do a double unit service, if I remember correctly. Oh no, then. A single unit then. But I swear the service I just did had 2 sets of 4. That's a double unit, isn't it? Unless it's broken, then I don't know. Let's go in the opposite direction. A regional express free service from Dresden. Let's have one in the afternoon. Well, there's not many in the afternoon. Dresden to Chemnitz. Nope. 1501 regional express free service. Chemnitz to Dresden. What's the time? 5 to 10. Shall I do it? Shall I do this service? I'll leave it up to you, the general public. Have a vote. Shall I do this service, or shall I just leave it at that? I'll take a look at the chat while you all decide. Jaden Brown, hey, how are you? Saro Trains, hey, I'm afraid I have to go. I shall hopefully check in on your stream tomorrow. No problem, Saro. You take care of yourself. Have a good evening. Foxy, hey, you're here finally. Excellent. Which train are you going to use? Mainly the new one, the diesel one. The 612 I just used just now for the first hour or something, so I'll be using it again. I think it's appropriate. The 101 will be put out of service. No! Why? Is it that old, the 101? Really? It doesn't look that old. Blimey. Spurs, is the performance on the PS5 better than on the PS4 Pro? Do you notice that? Oh, yeah. It's in a different league. The stability. It's not just the graphics. It's the stability that's more impressive. Particularly on München Augsburg. If you watched the series at your service, which I'm doing on my channel, which looks at the timetable services on Train Sim World 2. Obviously, I showcase the timetable, the types of services you can do on München Augsburg, and the stability and the improvement is extraordinary. It's tremendous. So yeah, if you can afford a PS5, and more importantly, if you can find one, then hands down. I mean, yeah, it's the power and the potential that the PS5 has simply blows the PS4 into the weeds. And that is pretty scary when you think about it, because the PS4 is already as advanced as it is, and it's still being used to this day, by developers, and Sony is still promoting it, of course, on their advertisements, either online or TV or whatever, radio, if they do that even. So yeah, it is another level. But there is some limitations to the PS5, I will admit. Now, this is Kremnitz, correct? Yes, it is. You can't change the wallpaper. No idea why. What am I doing? Put the reverser in. Thank you. That's better. GST. I'd love to know what GST means. Sounds technical, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Put the brake key on. Get those brakes warmed up. Stick the train lights on. Let's have a look outside. Have you? Okay, we've got the tail lights on. That's high beam. Is there not a oh, you can't have headlights on. I have to do it manually. Fair enough. Unused. Let's have headlights, bright lights, and that should be that. Yeah, it's pretty busy. There's a few scattered around. I think there's a single loco on its own over there. Look at that. Lights on. Yeah, look at that. Lights are on. Well, you can hear the engines there from the side of the exterior. See the doors close. There we are. Rock and roll. Let's see it depart, shall we? There we are. That's where we're going. To Dresden. We stop at those stations. I'm not going to pronounce them because I don't know how they're said correctly. Oh god, something's happened. I took a picture by an accident. There we are. Alright, let's fire it up. Let's go. Oh, as we depart, so does that train on the left. Off we go. Rock and roll. Oh, that's loud. That's very loud. In my headphones, at least. Whoa. I think my headphones have sorted itself out and I can hear the game very loud. Foxy, because the one I want is too old. It's from the late 90s. Really? A late 90s train is considered too old? My lord. Wow, I feel old now. So that being said, jeez. Wow, really? That is extraordinary. They're being retired already. I mean, yes, I know it's a long time, 20 odd years, but blimey. Time flies, my god. It just flies by. Folks, I'm going to get a PS5 digital when they're back on sale. Well, when they're back on sale, if they're ever on sale these days. I pre-ordered mine, I don't know, the moment it was announced on the Sony website. Was it Sony or Amazon? I think it might have been Sony. It must have been Sony, because yeah, if you found even a PS5, sorry, available on Amazon, then yeah, it's like winning the lottery. A once in a lifetime opportunity to see a PS5 for sale on Amazon or any other of the retailers, be it local or international. But yeah, I pre-ordered my PS5 as soon as it was announced, and it just took a very long time to arrive, because I think that, you know, obviously at the moment with the pandemic, it does affect technology, of course, you know, with shortages in staff, factory closures, shortage of computer chips, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if the computer chip shortage affects the PS5, but obviously the sales have been very, very slow. I mean, yeah, it's been out for, I'd like to say, a year and a bit, and yeah, they're still like gold dust. And it took me just under a year, I think, to get mine. At least 7 or 8 months, 9 months maybe, because I got mine in end of September, beginning of October. So yeah, it was worth the wait. Especially because I was just getting anxious, like, as the months progressed, like, am I ever going to get it, or is that £450 down the drain? I'm not sure. But yeah, I was very relieved when I finally received it, and I could see the real thing right in front of me, rather than seeing it on the screen or a phone or whatever. So yeah, that was a great relief. It took a little while to set up, especially transferring all the content and profile and everything from my PS4. Way longer than I expected, and it's quite tricky actually. But yeah, one thing I would recommend if you do get a PS5, you really need to think about getting a SSD hard drive. This thing eats the storage like crazy. I mean, I think I've got 5 PS5 versions of some games, and it just it takes my breath away of how big they are, those games. I mean, it is extraordinary. I mean, Train Sim World 2, even with the DLCs, even though I haven't got all of the DLCs installed because there's a DLC cap on the PS5, the game is nearly 75 gigabytes. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's even more than the latest FIFA game, which surprised me, because you'd think of a game like that, like FIFA, you know, with all the next gen capabilities and features, improvements and graphics and modes and all that kind of stuff from that company, EA Sports. Yeah, it's quite mind-boggling how big Train Sim World 2 has become, purely from a size perspective. Right, we need to slow down. Approaching the first stop. Not going to pronounce it because I honestly don't know how you say it correctly. Ooh, stop. Stop. That will be fine. Yeah. Perfect. And we're ahead of schedule, I think. Just. Passengers are disembarking and loading pretty quickly, which is excellent. Matt Jennings, do you ever stay in free roam and board another train straight away? If a service is finished, if I finished a service, I'll obviously have a mooch around the station or have a look at the architecture in the distance. Like a particular example is on Curl to Aachen. If I finish a service that terminates at Curl Hauptbahnhof station, I'll get off and I'll explore the station and find the collectibles and take a look at the architecture as well. Particularly at that Curl Cathedral, it's very well modelled in the game, and it's especially cool that the in-game clock, when it reaches I don't know, say 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock, the 1 o'clock hour, when it reaches on the hour, the time, the bells go off in the cathedral, which I think is awesome. So, but one thing about Curl Hauptbahnhof station is I'm not sure how close the airport is to that station, but you can hear the planes going overhead. It's very loud. So yeah, I do like to get out of the train when I finish the service and have a look around and take in the sights and sounds of a station. Whether I'd visit, get on another train and drive it or ride in it, don't usually, because either there's no other trains in the station, or because there is yeah, or I just can't be bothered, or I don't feel like it. Because sometimes it depends from route to route. Like if I do a run on Sandpatch Grade, for example, and I finish that, you know, I think the last thing I want to do is get on another train and drive or ride all the way back down to Cumberland, which is, you know, at least the best part of nearly 2 hours. So yeah, and I haven't got 4 hours to chill all day every day, just straight gaming non-stop. I mean, being able to stream on a Sunday and a Monday night is yeah, it's good, because it's the only really free time I have to just chill and play and talk to people, and because on the other nights I'm either working, dancing, or yeah, working or sleeping if I'm very tired, if I've had a rough day at work. We need to get on the brakes. My god, we're gonna bottle it here, I think. I'll be amazed if we can stop. Oh, it's a big long platform. Oh, that's okay. Means the passengers have to walk a bit more. That's not the end of the world. That's a long platform. I consider that an acceptable part of the platform to stop. Let's get out a minute. I do want to have a look. So this is a double unit as well. Right, that's confusing, because in the menu, the first service I drove apparently was a single, or classified as a single unit, but when I was driving the service, it was a double unit. That don't sound right. I think it's broken. Maybe Dovetail accidentally let slip in a couple of double 612 services in the section where single car services should be accessed. But oh well, never mind. Well, this part is correct, because selecting this service had to go through the double what was it? Double 612, yeah. I think, I don't know. I have a terrible memory, by the way. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I have a terrible memory, so if you've got better memory than me, then yeah, you could tell me. It's terrible. I should be remembering a lot more things. It's weird how I could just remember some things and then like remember things years ago, but then I can't remember something I did 2 or 3 minutes ago. It's very strange. Is that the moon that's out in the distance in the sky? I think it is. Fair enough. It is winter time. We are in January. In the game, by the way, as well. Oh, look, you can see the train leaning over to the right. It's like a motorbike, isn't it? You know, leaning over into the corner. It's like MotoGP, lean into the apex. I mean, I'm not a fan of bikes, but God, look at that. Yeah, you can see the train leaning in and out. It's like what's his face, Valentino Rossi driving trains. This would be the kind of train he'd want to drive. Right, I don't know what that station is called, but yeah, it's it's 5.5 kilometers away. So let's have a look at the chat, because obviously I'm just chatting away and struggling to keep up with the chat. I think there's like a slow feature thingamabob you can do to the chat. I'm not too sure, where you can slow it down so it enables me to keep up with it, but of course I don't know. I'll have to investigate that tomorrow. Let's have a look. Foxy is spelt Chemnitz, like a C, yeah. CH sometimes sounds like a K in German, but not every time. Sometimes you say it like a K and sometimes not. I hope it doesn't annoy you that I write that much. Not at all. I think it's very helpful when people help me with my German pronunciations of things. It enables me to get more accustomed to how German stations are pronounced, and of course when German subscribers or viewers watch either a stream or a video, they want to hear the correct pronunciation as they would say it in real life. So yeah, no, I think it's very helpful, and I appreciate that. Foxy, the boarding feature in free roam makes fun. It is pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's nice that you can just get on any train you see. Well, unless it's an AI train, that is. And yeah, just get on it, and it's quite exciting, I suppose, to some degree, that you can get on the train and not really know what the stopping pattern of this particular service is going to be like. Is it going to stop at your favourite station, or is it not? You don't know, and that is the beauty with it, I suppose. To some degree, we need to pick up the pace a little bit. It's a bit of a steep gradient here. I'm amazed I'm on time. I'll be chatting away and not focusing on the on keeping the train to the maximum permitted speed, but there we are. We're chugging along nicely. E60 Guy 101, hello everybody. I have been watching since the SW1000. Oh, wow. Wow, thank you. I appreciate sticking around for that long. Means a lot, thank you, appreciate it. Why did you not get the 1938 tube stop with the London Underground? Oh, plain and simple. It just didn't interest me. It's as simple as that. To me, it didn't add anything to the Bakerloo line. Like, you could already do that to some degree with the Isle of Wight tube train. Just paint it red, stick it on the Bakerloo line on Scenario Planner, and there you go. That saves you £10-11 or whatever currency you use. Plus the timetable didn't really interest me, and the scenarios didn't interest me that much. I mean, you're paying for a product that you've already kind of got with the Isle of Wight train. Yes, there are some visual differences inside and out, but you could kind of already do that on the Bakerloo line with the Isle of Wight train, really. Just take it, paint it red, use it in Scenario Planner. And if you don't have the Isle of Wight, then I can understand you purchasing the 38 tube stop. But if I've already got the Isle of Wight route, so to me it didn't make sense purchasing it, and it didn't seem very interesting to me. I mean, the timetable wasn't as busy as the normal Bakerloo line route. It really didn't make sense because the Bakerloo line is set in the present day, and yeah, you're not going to have a 1938 tube stock train trundling around on the Bakerloo line in 2021, are you? But yeah, if it's on a cheap discount at some point, I may pick it up. I've been thinking about it, because every time I go on the Train Sim World tab on the PlayStation home screen, it's always there. It always keeps coming up as something to purchase. So yeah, if it's on the cheap deal, like £2 or £3 or something, then I may pick it up. I'll wait and see. Need to get off the brakes because of the steep gradient, and we're running late, which is not good. Come on, pick up some speed. I'm surprised of how dark it's getting already. I mean, I know the service started in 1500 or something like that, but you could already see the bright light illuminating on the ground. It's getting dark already. It's literally a race against the daylight. Well, if I do finish the service in night time, then it'll be interesting to see what the route looks like at night. I wonder if it's got that clever little night technology stuff that Dovetail made for Naverco Dresden, because yeah, the night visuals on Naverco Dresden look superb. Whether they replicated that for this route, I don't know. Foxy 1525. I got a portable hard drive with 2 terabytes. Hey, awesome. That's great to hear. But new games are big. Yeah, they are getting bigger. I mean, I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently for £10. Cheap deal, I love it. That was 82 gigabytes, and that was the PS4 version. Yeah, that shocked me by how big it was. Because what I'm planning to do is transfer all of my old games, not just from my PS4, which I already have done, but from my Xbox One as well, and put it on the PS5, and then I can get rid of the Xbox and the PS4, just so I can save some room, really, some storage. Because the thing with my Xbox is I play not only my Forza games, but my old FIFA games and my F1 games, and I want to transfer them over to my PlayStation 5, so I can keep them all on one console instead of me, buying different versions and all that kind of jazz. Right, the next stop is Freiburg. At least I know how to pronounce that station correctly. I think it's called Freiburg. 13 kilometers away. Jade Brown, my PS5 got about 300 gigabytes left. I think mine's got around 200, but I'm in the process of transferring games, particularly mostly PS4 games, from the normal hard drive to the USSD hard drive. It takes a little bit of time, depending on the network speed, of course, but yeah, it will take a little bit of time for me to do it, but I've got I'm not fussed with that. As long as they're there on the drive, on the USSD hard drive, then I've got no problem. E-Guy, do you think the old northeast corridor should come back with PSW 1000R and the cab car and a GP38-2? Oh yeah, I'd love to see it come back. Will it come back? No, I don't think they will. If they are to bring it back, then they'll have to completely, literally redo the route from scratch, or route from scratch, since it's American. Nothing wrong with the route, like the gameplay side of things. The services were excellent. I really enjoyed the locomotives and the driving challenges. I think it's mainly the scenery that was a huge, I wouldn't say disappointment, because obviously it came out so early in Train Sim World's life cycle. But yeah, if you compare it to like the Long Island Railroad, for example, because that kind of uses the same bit as Northeast Corridor New York, I think Sunnyside Yard of New York Penn, yeah, it's night and day. You could fit an oil tanker between the two. So yeah, if Northeast Corridor was to come back, I think the gameplay experiences will be similar, apart from the Amtrak ACS 64, because it's got different physics and sounds to the 2020 version. But as far as the scenery goes, yeah, they'll have to completely gut it and rebuild it from scratch, especially if they want to get up to the standards that they've made with the more recent routes. Of course, Boston Sprinter is indeed one of them. Boston Sprinter's pretty good in my view. Looks good. It looks authentic-ish, particularly the city of Boston. Same goes for San Francisco as well, in Peninsula Corridor. Look at that leaning action. Hey, lean to the right. It's just like it's like being on a motorbike. It's crazy. Look at it. And lean back to straight. He's 60 Guy 101. Why did you remove the scenarios from the playlists of the route? If you want to know that explanation, then I explained why I did that. If you go, I don't know when I did that, but yeah, when I re-upload the stream to YouTube, yeah, you'll just have to try and find it. I'm not going to explain it again. I've already said it once, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. E60 guy 101, I think you have head sway off. Yeah, I do have cab sway off, but you can tell visually that you see the locomotive leaning to the right or leaning to the left on those harsh bends and tight curves. So it's pretty satisfying. E60, I love the Amtrak E60. Yeah, it's certainly a good workhorse for Amtrak. Whether it will come to the game, that's anyone's guess. The 187 is the worst add-on because the timetable is just the same. It's just a 185. We could save you money. Well, I wish I did save my money. There was no preview of it, was there? So it was literally going in blind and expecting it to be good. And to be fair, I thought the 187 looked good. It looks very good, inside and out. I think you can even access the engine room if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the sounds were a big letdown. The services actually was good. It did add quite a lot. I think it added 54 new services, new freight services, timber wagons services, auto cars, tankers, mixed freight. So from the service perspective, it did add quite a lot, which was a pleasant surprise. But for sound of the locomotive, of course, was the biggest disappointment. Is it the worst DLC in Train Sim World? Maybe from the sounds perspective, yes. But I think the gameplay itself, aside from the sounds, no. I don't think so. Right, we're going to be late. I think we're just going to have to accept that now. I've been cruising along way below the speed limit, so we need to get up to speed and try and get back on track. E60 guy 101, it's been nearly 2 years since the MP36 PH3C. 2 years, is it really? Wow. Wow. Time flies, like I said earlier. Wow. Foxy Spurs, do you think you need another passenger locomotive like the 146 German passenger locomotive like 106? I don't know really. Depends which one you'd want. I don't have any particular candidates, simply because I don't know what other German passenger locomotives are about. I know the 218 is does passenger work on Hamburg-Lübeck in particular. Other than that, that's the only one I could think of from the top of my head. E60 guy 101, what do you think of the G6? I knew this question was coming. I love it. It's great fun. It adds so much to Rhine-Austin, just as I dreamed of. And it's so in depth as well. I mean, if you watch the tutorial video on my channel, you know the guy explaining it is so in depth, and yeah, it works like a dream. I think the sound of a horn is a little bit clunky, but at least it sounds authentic. It's just, I think the looping and the editing, or the final version of the horn, is a little bit skewed, but it sounds authentic, and yeah, it's good fun. The performance characteristics, you feel the weight of the shunter, and of course it's got 4 different brake systems, so yeah, a lot of toys to play with that G6 shunter. And the best thing is, you can use it on this route. You can use it on this route, which was a nice surprise, which I didn't know until I picked this route up a couple of days ago. Foxy, only driving the 146 and the 143 is boring. Do you think we need other ones like the 186 or other ones? I can understand the 143 because we've had the 143 for ages, and plus we had another, I suppose, kind of variant of it, which is the 112. It kind of is the same as the 143, but just updated visually and in, you know, the interior, and I'm not sure of the performance characteristics, but certainly from a visual perspective, it's been tuned or tweaked to look a little bit better. So I can understand the 143. For 146, I don't mind. I actually like that, so I'm not too bothered. Not too bothered. E60 guy 101. The G6 is the best shunter. It's better than the 204. Best shunter. I mean, of course, it's your opinion. I agree with you. It's miles better than the 204 from a pure gameplay perspective. It blows the 204 into the weeds. The best shunter. Well, as a keen shunter enthusiast on this game, I think the Caltrain shunter, I think still from a gameplay perspective, I think still remains supreme. Ooh, there's another 612 coming in or leaving, and we need to get on the brakes. I think that's appropriate if we do so. I'll tell you what I haven't done. I've just noticed it. The gauge lights are not on. There we are. Of course, it's getting close to dark. Need to see where we're going. Wait until 15:32, which is now. Off we go. Rock and roll, shimmer and shake. There we are. Go, go, go. Oh, I think we have to wait for the brakes to release. There we are. Brakes are completely released. We can apply full power. Thought the throttle got stuck for a moment. Off we go. What's the next station called? Oh, blimey, this would be good if I can pronounce this correctly. Kleinenberg Kolmitz? I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Probably incorrect. Foxy, the 107 has a bug. You cannot see the lights from the cab. Oh, does it? I didn't notice that, to be honest. I'll have to have a look at that. I think I've got it installed. Not sure. Look at it in the not too distant future. That's why I do not like the 187, because you can't see anything in front of you. Fair enough. E60 Garmin 1. I tested the 612 on the Clinchfield Railroad. Wow. You can't get better. That's a pretty good proving ground. Excuse me, for the 612 Clinchfield Railroad. Brilliant. There we are, off the part. Mark Murray, TSW2. The new routes is not so polished, looks rushed again. I suppose it depends what part of the route you mean, or overall. I'm not sure, because I don't know the area that well. Whether it's polished or whether it's not polished, I couldn't honestly tell you. Other than the main stations of Chemnitz, Dresden, or some unique architecture on the route, I suppose they look accurate to a degree. Whether the whole route looks 100% squeaky clean, I couldn't say, because I don't know if it's completely 100% 360 degree accurate, but well, it looks different to the other routes. That's all I can say. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, of course, that's down to you. But yeah, I think it looks okay. Whether it's rushed, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit rough round the edges, but yeah, it looks okay. To me, that is. Foxy, the new routes seem all very rushed, especially on the last gen consoles. Oh, if it's on the last gen consoles, then I completely agree. It is more rushed, and it's more noticeably rushed on the last gen consoles. On the PS5, it's not too bad, is it? It's not looking like an Xbox. I don't know, the original Xbox graphics, is it? But if it's on last gen, and if it looks rushed on last gen, and I've experienced what it's like on last gen because I, for a time, had this game on last gen, and I agree, the graphical difference of the next gen version and the old gen version, either new routes or old routes, there is a significant difference for sure. E60 guy want the same thing with 442 Talent 2 over lights. Yeah, folks, I think the new West Cornwall route seems very rushed, but it looks cool. I love it, but it feels rushed. I don't know why. No, I've been to that part of Cornwall, and I can agree on some fronts it looks a bit rushed. I think in Penzance the station looks fantastic. It looks 100% accurate. Whether it's accurate to the time period, I don't know, but if you compare the station to its real life counterpart, it looks accurate. Maybe some of the distance scenery looks a bit rushed, particularly the castle on, what's it called? St. Michael's Mount, I think it's called. The castle there looks a little bit rushed, maybe not as detailed, but of course it's distant scenery. Thinking of West Cornwall, what is it? There's a little yard, isn't there, before I think it's the terminus of the route at St Austell, and the fact there's no shunter there doing any sort of freight traffic, putting trains together and so on and so forth. I think that's a bit disappointing. Yeah, West Cornwall is it's okay, especially with the TransPennine traffic added to the route. Adds a lot more gameplay and variety to it. So yeah, I think it's with most train sim mod routes, isn't it? It looks good, but of course, there's always that sense of it's a bit rough around the edges. I think that's a perfect expression to sum up the train sim mod routes. At times it looks fantastic, depending on the weather conditions, the time of day. And maybe upon close inspection as well, it could look really, really good, like really real life. Particularly the driving stock or rolling stock, look really, really nice. But of course, there will be some cases of routes which are looked more rushed than others or better than others. Yeah. E60 guy 101. The Amtrak E60 doesn't run anymore due to the cab sway it was made, replacing the GG1, which was approaching 50 years old. Wow. Can't wait for the horseshoe curve in Norfolk Southern and the ES44. I'm not. This is the thing. I'm excited for the horseshoe curve because I know how good it will look. It will look good because Cane Creek to me is one of the best looking routes in the franchise. The scenery of the desert and the rock formations and the cliffs and the mountains and so on and so forth look absolutely fantastic, especially on a next gen console. I'm sure you've seen clips of it on the internet or something, or other streams from other people, and you can't argue it looks damn good. Whether it's representative of real life, I'm not sure, but it looks bloody good. I must say. Excuse me language, but it looks very, very good. Cane Creek, very good. Maybe not as good as other routes because of bugs and the same locos being used and the same sounds being used, and the fact that most of it you have to chuck along at 25 miles per hour, but I treat Cane Creek as like West Somerset. It is really a scenic tour, and Cane Creek just blew me away. It looked absolutely beautiful, particularly with the sun coming up and going down. amazing. So I think with Horseshoe Curve, I think Skyhook Games will do a good job. My worry is with the locomotives. This is the thing, because of how bad the 187 sounds were. I'm just thinking, crumbs, are they gonna do a similar approach with the ES44AC? Have they already done that approach to those locomotives? Is it too late? I don't know, but certainly from photographs, and of course here's a freight train going by, but certainly by the photography, it does look good, no doubt. My just concern is with the locomotives. Are they going to bring it up to, I wouldn't say like a level where it's 100% realistic, because I think you'll agree that no locomotive on this game is 100% accurate and realistic as its real life counterparts, be that visuals or interactivity or sounds, whatever. It's impossible. So but I think certainly Skyhook Games can improve the way they construct locomotives for the game in their own adaptations of routes and so on and so forth. Certainly they can do better. I remember when Cane Creek came out, there was a lot of bugs, and it was sometimes it was a bit of a hellhole. But they got their act together and they tidied it up a bit. For the 187, obviously, like I said earlier, the gameplay I have no problem with. I think it's the sounds that was the main letdown, and that really overshadowed it. And that was where a lot of people doubted their abilities, not just constructing locomotives, but of course applying that to routes as well. So I hope and pray that Skyhook improve the way they prepare or construct or build locomotives. But for Horseshoe Curve, the route itself, I don't think I'll have a problem with it. Not only judging by how good Cane Creek looked, but also from the fact I'm really going in Horseshoe Curve blind, because I've never driven it, and I've never watched a full-length video on YouTube of an entire run from, where is it, Altoona to, what was it, Johnstown or something? I have no idea. I don't know where the route starts and ends, but I hope that they do a preview stream and I'll be able to look at that and think, alright, we'll see if it's good, or see if it's bad. If it's good, I'll pick it up. If it's bad, I think I'll wait until a few patches come along and give it a pick-me-up, as they say in good old London town. Right, rock and roll, let's go. Woo, off we go. Right, the next location is Go Via is indicated. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Where's Go Via is indicated? Ooh, it's there. Oh, okay. Oh, we're nowhere near Dresden. Oh, that's a bit strange. Wonder why they put that there then. And anyway, speaking of Horseshoe Curve, I hope they do Norfolk Southern proud. I mean, Norfolk Southern is a big brand over in the States. And it's exciting to have yet another new brand in the series. I mean, we've got a new brand in this route, Railpool. And, of course, not only the fans of Norfolk Southern, but the brand representatives themselves of Norfolk Southern. They want to see their brand done well in the game. So, yeah, I hope Horseshoe Curve is as good as it looks on paper. But, yeah, no one knows until we see it in action. Simple as that. East 60 guy, excuse me, I got the West Cornwall route on its original release date on Xbox. Ooh, lucky you. Yeah, West Cornwall is good fun. Not as good as Northern Transpennine. No way. I love Northern Transpennine, but yeah, it's a creditable addition to the franchise. On the 28th of December, the Belfast scrapyard went up in flames. Yeah, I can't remember. Someone alerted me to it on the news. I think it was a friend on Facebook, and the scrapyard was on fire, and I couldn't have. I tried not to laugh, but I had a little bit of a giggle, mainly because I had a bit to drink that day during the Christmas festivities, of course. Yeah, it's a bit sad, the scrapyard being on fire, but I think it's better to have a scrapyard on fire than, I don't know, a block of houses on fire, I suppose. Because, yeah, a scrapyard is just scrap. So, yeah, I don't think the world's going to cry about scrap being on fire. Might not be the most environmentally friendly way of getting rid of scrap, but, yeah, there we are. Foxy, hope they're giving us free locos on the Horseshoe Curve. I don't think they are. I think it's just two locomotives on the Horseshoe Curve, the ES44 AC and the GP, is it 38-2 or 40-2? It's one of those two. I think it's the 38. I think it'd be nice to have the 38-2, because all we've had since the game's been released is GP ST40-2. So it'd be nice to have the 38-2 back in the game with a new look. I mean, the only time I've used the 38-2 is on the Sandpatch Grade and Peninsula Corridor, so it's about time 38-2 makes a comeback, maybe with some upgraded bits and bobs on the, visually, and maybe on the sound department and driving physics part as well. Who knows? People are going to buy the Horseshoe Curve because the ES44AC on the livery editor, you can do heritage units. Ah, yes, the Pennsylvania Railroad and Conrail. Yeah, that'll be a big draw card for picking up the route, or route, I should say, since it's American. Oh, need to get down the speed, down. Leaning to the left. Well, there's one good thing. You get good visibility from the headlights of the 612. Of course, keep in mind I've set the headlights to bright, not the dim setting. And we're cruising along nicely. Lovely. The Amtrak 662 has not been added to the Boston Sprinter. It's taking so long I made it on the livery editor. The Amtrak, I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know what the 662 looks like. I have no idea. The one thing I hope they should add to the Boston Sprinter route is the Acela. I desperately want that, and it really should be in there from the start of when that route was released. I'm very surprised that they didn't add it, because it's a huge part of the route, I think, and you could tell. It's so obvious that it should be there, because it's just like a big chunk of the service variety is gone, because the Acela is absent. So I think it's almost certain we're going to get the Acela. I mean, it's the only thing that's missing now on the Northeast Corridor is the Acela. If we don't get it, I will be very surprised if we don't get it. We should get it this year. I hope so too, because I like it. It's good. And maybe even add the I was going to say Dovetail should add the replacement for the Acela, but obviously the route was set apparently new-ish. I think it's what Matt Peddleton said, so maybe mid 2010s, early 2010s maybe. So yeah, certainly the Acela I think has a very strong chance, and yeah, he needs to be in the game. I mean, I'm not an American, but I know how important the Acela is to rail fans of particularly the Northeast Corridor. It plays a massive part. That's why the down Northeast Corridor was made, for faster high-speed travel. The Acela's definitely a part of that, that's for sure. Well, we've got to make a stop. Tharandter. Appropriate. Appropriate name for the station, since yeah, the route is called Tharandter Rampe. I hope the graphics of the stream are okay and the sound is good. You can hear me and the sound of the game, and hopefully the sounds are all not out of sync. If you can tell me if they are all good, all systems are go, and that'll be yeah, very, very. That'll be nice to hear. Because yeah, I've waited a long time to come back to streaming and talk to people, and so I only wanted to do it when I had the horsepower, not only of a console but a network as well. So hopefully it looks just as good. I know it's 720p and it's 30 frames per second, but I really wanted to do it with the new network I had installed over the festive period and with the PS5, but I just wanted to be a bit cautious, just so I could give it a try and see what it's like. If the streaming quality is rubbish, like the visuals or the audio is out of sync, then obviously, yeah, I won't stream tomorrow, and I'll have to investigate further what I can do to improve it. But yeah, it's nice to stream and talk to people again. It's been a while. Oh, we have to wait a little bit. Oh, 20. Oh, he arrived early. That's nice. Let's take a look at the chat. I'll lock the doors first. I think that might be wise. The E60 guy, the only thing I have at the Boston Sprinter is the AC64 because the headlights are too bright. And the 600, 606, the 642, which are in different liveries, and the 601 and the 627 doesn't exist because that's where they were in train crashes. Oh, right. The GP40-2 is not in TSW2. Oh, no, I didn't mean the GP, I meant the SD40-2. Sorry. Apologies if I made a mistake. I didn't mean GP40-2. I meant the SD40-2 earlier on. Just have to wait until we can increase the power because of the brakes. I think maybe unless it's an actual legitimate thing, I don't think you can increase the power beyond 1% after you get up to, I think it's 10 kilometers per hour. Then yeah, you can go all guns blazing with the throttle lever. But I think that it's certainly been a theme that I've started to notice with this locomotive. You can't apply full power straight away when you're at a standstill. I think you have to wait until you get to 10 kilometers per hour, and then you can apply the beans. And go all bananas with the speed. It's nice, we're cruising along, it's nice, good vibes. How are we keeping to time? I do not know. Because I've nowhere near been on point as far as the speed limit is concerned. I've mainly just been cruising along just so I could talk to people. Because if I go at full speed and I'm chatting away, then there's a very good chance that I'll miss the station by an absolute country mile. That's what's going to happen. I know it will. It's going to happen one day. I'm surprised the stream's gone on for this long. I mean, it's nearly 11 o'clock at night. My God, I think I do need to speed up a bit just so I can finish. Yeah, I don't know how far I am. Is that the last stop? Let me just check. Oh no, we've got one more after this next stop. That's okay. Oh, there's another train. I almost panicked for a bit then when I saw the station that's just coming, that we're just passing now. I thought, crikey, we don't have to stop there, do we? I'm at 120 kilometers per hour. Hey, look at us leaning to the left. Love it. It's just so different, isn't it? Having a train that leans. I think it's more than 90. Is it 90 degrees? I think it leans. I'm not too sure of the exact degree it can lean. It looks like I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. I'm not good at maths anyway. E60 guy 101. The stream looks good. I'm pleased. Relieved more than anything. The ST70 ACE and Union Pacific ST40 but actually have the best horns. Yeah, the ST70, yeah, Sherman Hill's a good one. Ironically, the ST70 ACE uses the same sound as the what's its face? The Class 66 from either East Coastway or Great Western Express. Now, whether that's because it has the same engine, I'm not too sure, but it does sound very similar, and I think Dovetail admitted that it sounds, you know, they use the same sounds as the Class 66, but they tweaked it, so they tried to make it sound different, and I do agree. The horns on both locomotives sound very, very good, particularly on the VSD40-2, because that's how it should have been sounded from the moment Sandpatch Grey came out for Train Sim World 2 and for Cane Creek 2. So I think it's good that it's got the correct horn, and also as I say, another bit of saving grace for Cane Creek, you can use the ST40-2 form from Sherman Hill with the correct horn, so that's nice. Ah, lovely. Nice bit of tea. It's empty now. Oh, I'm getting stiff now. This is the thing with streaming. I haven't streamed for so long. I forgot how hard it is when you get all stiff and horrible. I don't sit down as much. Because what I used to do was... oh, what am I doing? I opened both doors by an accident. Oops, it's my fault. Sorry. I thought the doors were locked. The doors were still unlocked. That's my fault. No damage done. There we are. Right. Let's have a look at the chat. Anyway, as I was saying, the ST70 ACE and the ST40-2 horns are very good. If I remember correctly, I think the ST40 on Clinchfield, that was meant to get a new horn, wasn't it? Like an RS3 horn? I think that was what was, apparently someone told me that. Like apparently in the patch or something for Clinchfield, we would get the ST40 will get a new horn, an RS3L horn or something like that. And yeah, since then there's nothing been of it, so unless Dovetail have thrown it under the bus either because the sounds weren't as they expected, or they just forgot, then I don't know. I hope it's the first option, because then I can allow that excuse. If it's because they've thrown it under the bus and forgot about it, or they just haven't got time, and I can't accept that. I mean, I remember watching that stream because I was so excited for Clinchfield, and they were saying that they had it in development and they couldn't get it into the final build of the route in time. I don't know, either be sourcing it or something like that was an obstacle at the time. But yeah, it just hadn't materialised. And of course, in my series at your service, I'm doing Clinchfield now, so I will know for sure whether the RS3L Horn has either been sneaked into the Clinchfield Railroad or yeah, it's still not present. Look at it leaning to the right, and then it's going to straighten up. There we go. Let's have a look at the chat. I know the YouTube chat can be a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Sometimes it picks up messages and sometimes, excuse me, it does not. So let's take a look. E60 guy, the DLCs I want to see for Sherman Hill is the DDA40X original Challenger, the gas turbine GP35 DD35A, the big boy Challenger, and the C855. All worthy candidates and contenders. Whether any of them will come, I don't know. I think Big Boy would be a huge draw card. I would love to see Big Boy, and wow, it bears thinking of. I think that will look tremendous. Yeah, that will be some serious expectations then. If they announce like Big Boy, the first steam locomotive on a US route, then yeah, their expectations will go through the roof, because that's arguably up there, you know, with the Flying Scotsman in terms of history, heritage, the presence in the steam world. It's actually, I think it recently came out of retirement, and it lives on. Big Boy is back and doing well. You wouldn't believe it in these crazy environmental times, but yeah, Big Boy is back from the dead, and I've seen videos of it, and yeah, it's not going as fast as it used to, and it's not pulling heavy freight trains, but yeah, it's good to see the old Big Boy back on its feet, or wheels I should say, back on the rails, and at least running around the Sherman, I think it's running around Sherman Hill area, not too sure, but yeah, it's good to see it. And we're coming up to Dresden, Hauptbahnhof. Just in time too. I started streaming at 8:30, and it's nearly 2300, 11 o'clock at night. My lord, it's certainly a long route, but then again, I haven't been paying 100% full attention. I haven't been driving precisely to the speed limits. I haven't got any of the speed cruise control systems enabled, but yeah, it's been a long one. I think the most surprising thing is that I'm still keeping to the time. I'm amazed. Oh, there we go. 5.6 was a bit blurry, but he came round in the end. Now, the sun is set, the darkness is descending, and the nighttime lights are coming on, and it looks pretty good. And that's pretty appropriate, actually, to finish the stream. Started off in the daylight, now it's ending in dusk/nighttime. Awesome. Better get down to the speed. Get down. British Ace, or what's that? Oh, it's an emoji. Right, I didn't know what it was. But hey, how are you? Hope you're well, my friend. Nice to see you. Hope all is well with you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. First stream in 13 months, but yeah, hope it looks okay for you all, of course, that are watching. Like I said earlier, if you want to watch the stream back in its entirety, of course it'll be re-uploaded to the channel, and yeah, you can watch it back as many times as you wish. In terms of the next stream, it will be tomorrow, same time, same place, on a different route, of course. We'll still be in Germany, keeping up with the German theme, and that route in question is rapid transit. Which locomotive I'll be driving, that remains to be seen. But of course, if you want to know other details of the stream, like time zones and all that sort of thing. Keep an eye out for the a post on the community section of my channel. That's where I'll be able to post the what I'm doing, when I'm doing the stream, and the appropriate time zones. I tried to get a good mix of time zones, mostly from different capital cities in the world. I think I picked some interesting countries. I picked a few in Asia, like Beijing, Tokyo, Sydney in Australia, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Oh, this is a nice one. The marker things disappeared for the stopping distance. Oh well. I want to get up to the edge. No. We couldn't stop anyway. We couldn't open the doors anyway. We need to get a bit closer, I think. But yeah, as I was saying, I was trying to get a good mix of time zone times for when I stream. Ooh, brake. I don't want to derail right at the end. But yeah, like I said, check out the community page, roughly just under 24 hours time, and then you'll see all the details in the next stream. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the stream on Germany's newest route, the Tharandter Rampe, going from Dresden to Chemnitz. Yeah, it was great fun. Nice to be back streaming. It's been a while. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Just wait for the game to do its thing. There we are. Back to the free roam. I think I'll leave it here. Like I said, glad to be back on the streaming front. Hope everyone enjoyed it. It's been a good fun. Nice to chat to people. It's nice to just have some fun on some new stuff and roots of the past as well. So really pleased to be back. I won't be streaming constantly. I can't assure you that I'm going to keep constantly doing 2 days a week, but it's refreshing, I think, to look at these new routes or old routes in a new format. So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, and of course I will see you next time. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening. Take care.